This panel here is clearly one of the first sketches for the mural. You can see that some ideas are starting to develop with sculpture and music, literature, but you can see the colors are all muted and just formulating the ideas. You can see it developing that way.
Artist Bob Patterson examines the reference panels for York Wilson's massive mural, The Seven Lively Arts. Patterson, along with John Labont Smith, was Wilson's assistant on the painting in 1960.
So this panel is obviously more developed than the first one we were looking at. See, things are starting to happen here. You can see how he's thinking, trying to get different areas to relate. And a lot of the shapes and colors are not finalized, but you can see where they're developing.
York Wilson's Seven Lively Arts mural at the Keith Center is, I'd like to say, a kind of a grandstand display. He was given a site that was absolutely remarkable. The architects had designed this incredible foyer, great lobby area, so you can view this incredible 100-foot long wall either from the lobby floor or from the mezzanine. So there's 2 points of view, and presumably more reflectively from the mezzanine. So it offered that kind of a possibility. Very much a public space, so with lots of buzz and people looking at other people and that kind of a feel to it. And York responded to all of those challenges very, very directly.
York Wilson's artistic pursuits were certainly grounded in the traditional schools. When he wished to execute a particular work, whether it was a mural or a canvas, a sketch, the craftsmanship was impeccable, as I've seen on many of his murals and works of art. In terms of his utilizing contemporary materials, he did experiment, but he experimented with the knowledge in the hands of a craftsman.
Upon its completion in 1960, the Seven Lively Arts became the largest mural in Canada. With a length of 100 feet, there were understandably many structural challenges to be considered by the architects and the artist. Above all, and before a drop of paint could be applied, the surface needed to be resistant to cracking. And how was this achieved? By allowing the mural surface to float.
If we can take sort of a cross-section, we have the wall, which is a curved wall. And attached to this wall is what appears to be about a 1/8 inch steel sheet or plate steel. So it's a highly stable environment onto which the paint can reside.
Once a stable surface had been engineered, Wilson needed to ensure that his paints would also endure the test of time. Adopting techniques acquired during his years living in Mexico and combining them with his own meticulous experiments in plastics, York Wilson was a pioneer in early acrylic paints.
Well, the material that he used, which was a vinyl acetate, was one of the early forms of plastics that was used in paint.
And the colors were pure colors that were used. So we mixed all the colors ourselves. Like nowadays you can go buy a tube of blue or red of acrylics, and that's basically vinyl acetate that we used was basically the forerunner on acrylics. Because considering this was 50 years ago and there was no acrylics on the market at the time, I think it's quite important that way, technically.
York Wilson, having made his own paints, would have given the end result a significantly greater impact. The colors would have been more vibrant, more pure, more clear.
A rough plaster surface in combination with specialized materials and technique gave the mural a unique look.
We never used a brush larger than 1 inch because to give a uniform texture to the whole mural. And just cheap brushes really, because We wanted soft edges. Edges were always soft, never had a hard edge, because if you had a hard edge, from a distance it would look like it was cut with a pair of scissors or something, you know, like